Hey yo, what's good? It's your boy Mixtape Moth, and today I'm gonna hit y'all with a review of the new Westside Gunn album entitled Hitler Wears Hermes 8 Side B. Let's get to it. Alright, Westside Gunn, the creative mastermind, mogul, and face of the Griselda movement, has returned with the highly anticipated Side B of his Hitler Wears Hermes 8 project. This two-part mixtape will actually serve as the final installment of his famed 8-part series. This album arrives at a time when Griselda as a crew has seen some of their biggest commercial successes to date. Not only has the Griselda roster grown significantly in recent months, but both Benny and Conway have been in high demand for features the entire year. All three members appeared on the Kanye album. Benny is finally getting recognition from BET, and he's also featured on a Drake song. But getting right into this new Westside Gunn album, it contains 20 tracks and lasts approximately an hour and 4 minutes. It is longer than Side A, which clocked in at around the 40-minute mark. Both sides are heavy on the features, even though Side B's are not listed in the album credits, but Side B contains more producers than Side A. While Camouflage Monk, Danny LaFleur, and Conductor Williams split the production for Side A, Westside Gunn enlists the following additional producers for Side B: Sovereign, Jay Versace, Madlib, Derringer, B Butcher, Alchemist, Nicholas Craven, J.R. Swifts, Green Lantern, King Juvie B, and Sadu Gold. As far as the features, he brought along the following: A.A. Rashid, Benny, Conway, Jay Electronica, Heem, Chase Fetty, Flea Lord, Makami, 2 Chainz, Armani Caesar, Billy Esco, Keisha Plum, Jay Worthy, Larry June, TF, Rome Street, Stove God Cooks, Tiana Denise, Julia Lang, AZ, and Tyler the Creator. But with that being said, let me go ahead and hit y'all with this track by track breakdown. The opener, Brody, is just a cinematic instrumental named after the wrestler Brody Lee, who passed away in 2020. The second track is actually another intro entitled And How You Start Intro. This features the wise and spiritual OG A.A. Rashid dropping some metaphysical spoken word, and if there was ever someone who could possibly fill the void of Papa Wu in this current climate, it would be A.A. Rashid. His words are backed by the classic Willie Hutch Mother's Theme sample from the movie The Mac, and this is a 5-mic soul sample that gave me a good feeling leading into the first song. Now, the first actual track is Hell on Earth Part 2, which features Benny and Conway. This is produced by up-and-coming producer named Sovereign, who knocked this out the park, as it is one of the dopest beats on the project and possibly the best Griselda song of the year. Sovereign provides a murky mid-90s soundscape that is reminiscent to old Mobb Deep and Wu-Tang. There's something about the drums that sounds similar to the ones used on Mobb Deep's Right Back At Ya from the infamous album, and it's the type of production that is gonna feel like Christmas morning for 90s boom bap aficionados. It was a bit of a toss-up for me to determine who had the better verse between Benny and Conway, so let me know in the comment section who you had, but I'm personally gonna go with Conway. Obviously, his wordplay and flow jumped out the most. He said, Jordan Pack 5's gun metal, something special. Used to serve yay, wordplay on big pun level. Smoke come out the barrel when the guns settle. Knew some gangsters in Arizona playing the field like the Sun Devil. Track 4, Free Cutter, is a tribute to Gunn's incarcerated friend. This features a strong performance from Jay Electronica, who just glides effortlessly over this hypnotic Jay Versace beat. This is easily the best Jay Versace instrumental that I've heard yet. I love the icy, late night jazzy production, which reminded me of a cross between Redman's Superman Lover and some of the bells used throughout the Fly God album from 2016. What follows is another standout track entitled Richie. This time Westside Gunn reunites with the elusive Madlib, who provides Gunn with a dusty yet heavenly soul backdrop. This one is just under 2 minutes. The remaining portion of the track contains a dialogue spoken in French on top of a dark and cinematic beat that ended up giving me some strong 1970s French Connection vibes. Right after is the Camouflage Monk produced Julia Lang, it's one of the more explosive and high energy beats. The production is gritty and anxiety building. You also have the Trapaholics DJ tag being dropped numerous times, so it gives the track a trap like mixtape quality without it actually being trap. What I find comical was that a song featuring Julia Lang actually contained the most gun-toting ad-libs and the most ignorant bars from Gunn on the whole album. Following this is the two-part track Celine Dion. The first beat sounds akin to the production on side A's Draymond. This features Chase Fetty and BSF member Heem, who each drop solid enough verses. They are nothing too special, but I wouldn't call them bad verses either. And there is something about Chase Fetty's voice that does remind me a bit of J.R. Ryder's. The second beat, which features Flea Lord, has these maniacal and spooky keys and crunchy drums. It's a faster tempo than the first, and Flea Lord doesn't disappoint with his verses. He brings that bold energy and charisma to the record. Track 8 is Best Dressed Demons, produced by Derringer, who laces Gunn with some dramatic pianos and a heavy drum presence. Mach-Hommy opens the track with Elvis Presley stole Little Walter flow. The Rolling Stones stole Muddy Waters flow. Here he's addressing the cultural appropriation that has existed in music long before hip hop as we know it. But the bulk of the song centers more around fashion talk and the two living this fly and luxurious lifestyle. Next is the banger Forest Lawn, which is named after the Forest Lawn Cemetery in Buffalo. This has a chilly and dark beat from Camouflage Monk, which feels like a great soundtrack to kick off hoodie season. Here, Gunn utilizes a different flow, which actually sounded pretty dope. This also features verses from 2 Chainz and Armani Caesar. Now, clearly 2 Chainz had the best verse, but I thought Westside Gunn and Armani delivered solid performances. Track 10, Why I Do 'Em Like That, was the first song that didn't leave much of an impression on me. While I did like the bleak piano production from Camouflage Monk, I didn't really care for the lyrics or the Billy Esco feature. It's not a bad song or one that I'm gonna go out of my way to skip, but it really didn't do a whole lot for me either. After this is the highlight, R.I.P. Bergdorf, produced by Nicholas Craven. The sped up vocal sample has enough kick and is attractive enough to take the place of drums or really any other instrument. Here, Gunn is joined again by Mach-Hommy. Westside Gunn gives us some imaginative storytelling involving fashion designers getting into a gun brawl. Now, this is a topic that Gunn has explored before, but this time his verses just seem more coherent. Track 12 is the Derringer and Beat Butcher produced TV Boy. Now, this is set to a rich and luminous boom bap beat. It's gritty, but also glistening and hypnotic at the same time. The following track, Survivor Series 95, finds Westside Gunn showing love to his West Coast family. This features Jay Worthy, Larry June, and TF. I found the Larry June feature to be unexpected, but it was great that the two have finally linked. Now, this beat is stylistically different from the others. It's a sunnier instrumental that's jazzy and funk driven. I wasn't initially crazy about the production, but it did grow on me as I feel it complemented the smooth West Coast flows from Larry June and Jay Worthy. The subsequent track, Eddie Kingston, returns to the sounds of grittier pianos and boom bap drums. This beat from J.R. Swift's is one of the most hardcore and aggressive of its kind. It's definitely one that should give you the instant screw face and ice grill stare. This features a dope verse from the recent Griselda Records signee Rome Streets, who raps, "My best fiend from Union Square who buy hard. He looked like Brett Favre. Work on my aim and be a sharp shooter like Bret Hart." Immediately after is Oster Tag, produced by the legendary Alchemist. This features Stove God Cooks, spitting one of his more impressive verses in a while over an elegant and refined soul backdrop. Stove raps, "Don't make me send my dog through there in a Yukon mask. Husky dude hanging out that 2-door Benz, bricking my daughter newborn bag. When they were scared to get it through the mailman, I went Utah jazz." Stove's wit, wordplay, and charisma is pretty unrivaled at the moment. Track 16, Munch, is a dedication to a deceased friend, I believe. This bright soul production from Conductor Williams does give off a 70s blaxploitation vibe that's very vintage in quality. The following, 99 Averex, has an angelic and dreamy loop from DJ Green Lantern. I'm not entirely sold on this beat just yet, but the warp quality to the loop does fit with the aesthetic found on recent Westside Gunn albums, so I can respect that. But I really liked that the track featured AZ, who had the MVP verse, which should really come as no surprise. The chorus from Stove God didn't disappoint either. Then there is the short but effective The Fly Who Couldn't Fly Straight. Here, Westside reunites with Tyler, the Creator, and we can thank Westside Gunn for inspiring Tyler to reconnect with his hip-hop roots. This contains a dusty but divine soul beat from Sadhu Gold. I wish it was a little longer, but it's still dope. The second to last track is Big Al with Rome Streets. Danny LaFleur provides the two with a somber piano layered beat. At the end of the track, Westside Gunn gives a rest in peace shout out to MF Doom, which felt genuine, but it was Rome Streets who ended up stealing the show with his fire verse, and there are quite a few quotables here from Rome. The album wraps up with the instrumental outro, Bye Bye. The jazzy and cinematic beat sounds very fitting for a 1970s New York film. This is followed up by some spoken word from Keisha Plum. Overall, I give side B a rating of 4 mics. I feel that as a whole, this was a solid double album and a strong way for Westside Gunn to close out his Hitler Wears Hermes series. While I had given side A rating of 3.5 mics and I considered it to be a dope enough project overall, I ended up liking side B more. The production felt bigger, crispier, and just more interesting as a whole. Of course, with side B, we had more producers who each brought their own unique flavors to the sonic palette. Whether you like Westside Gunn's lyrics or not, he has proven time and again of his ability to craft well put together albums that play well from front to back. If we should compare this side A and B to the most recent Drake and Kanye albums, given that they are each 19 tracks and higher and almost enter into the double album category, this Westside Gunn album easily puts those two to shame. If Westside Gunn doesn't drop another project for the remainder of the year, he will still have had a strong 2021 run. My favorite tracks include Hell on Earth Part 2, Free Cutter, Richie's, Forest Lawn, R.I.P. Bergdorf, TV Boy, Eddie Kingston, Oster Tag, Munch, and Big Al. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section below. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Westside Gunn, Hitler Wears Hermes 8, Side B, 1.